Hi, I'm Tulade, a software data engineer. I'm going to talk about how you can easily deploy your web apps into production. There are two things you should be wary of. The very first thing is selecting the right environment. The second thing is ensuring you use quite similar environment for both your staging and your production platforms. Now let's talk about the very first thing. So say for example you were to deploy a Django app into production and you're using a particular dependency called Dafine or Guinecan. Now, they operate quite differently on different platforms like Azure, AWS App Runner, or Render, right? Now, the way you will deploy, deploy for App Runner will be quite different from the way you're going to utilize and deploy it for Azure due to the dependencies. I'm talking from experience, right? The second thing you should be watchful of is you need to be watchful of using almost the same platform for both staging and production. For example, if I were to use AWS App Runner to deploy my production backend service, I want to ensure that I'm using a particular staging platform for testing that is quite similar to what I'm going to experience in production, because over time I got to realize that the platforms behave differently. So what Azure might be looking for is maybe different from what AWS might be looking for, because they're all built differently. So you need to be careful that you select the right environment, that's a cloud environment that is quite friendly with your application and your dependencies, and also ensuring that what you use for both staging and production deployment environment are not too different, right? So they're quite similar, or so you don't have any issues in production. Thank you and goodbye.